Hey, welcome in. Well, it seems like there are powerful people who don't want Rebel News around anymore. Rebel News, if you're not aware, is the big independent conservative news outlet in Canada. And as you can see here on Social Blade, they have almost 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Now, they have reporters in Australia, and they do a lot of stuff with the States as well, but they're a Canadian outlet. And they're pretty darn popular. And they're also conservative, which puts a target on them. I did a video a little while ago on them being demonetized by YouTube. And that was there from March 23rd, 2021. So that was a huge loss for them. I think they were saying it was about $500,000 a year. They were losing by being demonetized on YouTube. Then they got suspended. YouTube, out of the blue, just suspended them. A few weeks ago, YouTube fired its first shot at Rebel News. And it says here, well, just as predicted, YouTube is continuing to come after us. This time, they've suspended the Rebel News YouTube page and has given us a strike. Now you get 3 strikes and you're out. You're off YouTube. And this comes after them being in good standing for years, never having any problems. But the speculation is that YouTube has just decided to get rid of them. Whether it's pressure from the Trudeau government, who knows? But apparently now they've got it out for them. And we've seen this happen with other conservative channels before, haven't we? And what happens is different companies that are all kind of related with the online space tend to act as a cartel. So once one domino falls, the rest start to fall pretty quickly. We saw that with Parler, where they were banned from the Google Play Store and from the App Store, and then Amazon Web Services dumped them. And it tends to happen as a coordinated thing. It looks very coordinated. And I know that Ezra Levant, who is the main guy at Rebel News, has said he thinks that YouTube is just going to get rid of them. These are just the first steps to banning them, right? The other strikes will come soon enough, and then they'll just be off YouTube. But it's not just YouTube, is it? So PayPal is trying to shut down Rebel News. So now PayPal comes out as well. Again, there seems to be collusion between different tech companies to work together to get rid of people they just don't like. Of course, they're always conservative. It says here, PayPal, the online credit card processor, just cut off Rebel News. I really need your help. I hate to say it, but this could actually destroy us. And that's the point, to destroy them, to silence them. And this is a very big hit. This is about $1 million a year that it's going to cost them, which, yeah, they're on life support. And it's the usual story here. With no notice at all, they just breached the contract. They ambushed us. They sent us a form letter by email after business hours on a Friday night before the weekend. It wasn't even signed by anyone. It had no contact info. There was no way to appeal it. No explanation. It just said we were canceled. And that's the way these completely out of control oligarchs do it. It says they say we violated their terms of service, but they didn't say how or when or what, or even suggest how to fix whatever the problem might be. Again, we've seen all this before, haven't we? And PayPal, by the way, has banned countless conservatives. It says here they read their terms of service carefully. It says they can't use PayPal to sell things like drugs or weapons or stolen property. I can tell you right now, I don't think Rebel News does that. Anyway, they say we don't do anything even close to that. We're a news site, and we work with a civil liberties charity. We've simply never broken PayPal's rules, ever. And they've never before said that we have. And yet, on a Friday night, they simply cut off our business immediately. No explanation, nothing. That's cancel culture. It's also an attack on 150,000 of our customers who are PayPal users, and their rights too. And that is really cancel culture. I mean, that's the epitome of it. Cancel culture isn't deciding you're not going to consume a product anymore because you don't like the slogans that they're pushing or something. Ending somebody's ability to make a living, that's real cancel culture right there. So let's see. They had lawyers write to PayPal to ask what was going on. It's been nearly a week as of this article, and they haven't even acknowledged receipt of our letters. Our lawyers have phoned and left messages, but they haven't gotten a call back. And anyway, they're not hearing anything back, and that's no surprise. And that's because somebody at PayPal doesn't like Rebel News. And that's, I guess, all you really need these days. You don't actually have to break any rules or anything. You just have to have different thoughts than they do. Different thoughts than the people who set the rules arbitrarily, apparently, at a company like PayPal or YouTube or Twitter, wherever. Now, I should say I do have a PayPal link in the description of my video where people have contributed to, and I really need to get something else. I'm not going to get rid of it right this second because I don't have any other way for people to donate to me. But I am looking into crypto, so I want to put a couple of crypto addresses up there. And I don't know. I'm going to look for some other ways because I'm not big enough to be noticed by PayPal yet, but they're certainly not going to like my ideas. That's for sure. And that's really all it's about. That's really all it takes is somebody there just to not like your ideas. And then you're gone. No explanation, no recourse, nothing. But anyway, I'm going to look into some alternative ways. Maybe give me some suggestions of some better alternatives in the comments if you could. Anyway, let's continue on. But this really says it all. A credit card processing company has decided to illegally and unethically breach its contract with us, leaving us high and dry on a Friday night because we're conservative. And that is it. Nobody doubts that. Nobody doubts that. So YouTube has demonetized Rebel News and then suspended them for a week where they can't post anything. And now they get canned by PayPal. In both cases, we had a perfect track record. Never a violation. Is that a coincidence? I don't think that it is. And it just happens to coincide with Justin Trudeau introducing censorship legislation in Parliament targeting big tech companies that give platforms to his political critics. And that he's talking there about Bill C-10, which I will be doing a video on shortly, which, in my opinion, is just a thinly veiled attempt to control media narratives in Canada. So is it a coincidence that all this is happening all at once? Just happens to coincide with this new legislation? Maybe, maybe not. So anyway, what is Rebel News doing? They are going to sue PayPal. And they say here, PayPal didn't just harm us, they violated consumer protection laws, not just for us as a merchant, but like I say, for the 150,000 PayPal users who just had their relationship with us destroyed for no good reason. That's the kind of thing that financial regulators look at in the public interest. Now, of course, this is very expensive. They're saying this lawsuit will cost $150,000. So if you want to donate to Rebel News and help them out in this legal fight, which, if successful, would really help everybody. But if you want to help them out, you can find a link on this page, which will be in the description of this video. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.